What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Tarp Sports YouTube page, guys. Alright, we're going to be back in full effect. I'm going to be trying to drop a video every UFC card with the predictions like this one, and when football season's back, I'm getting that as well. But guys, let's get into this one. It's a crazy card. UFC 316, fan favorite Sean O'Malley taking on Merab Delavilis. Alright, let's get into it. I'm going to be dropping my predictions for each fight. What I'm personally taking will not be out until after the weigh-ins, but if weigh-ins go good, and for my people at least, we're going to be taking them. So if you want to see that, go social media, join the Discord. I'll have it in the link in the bio. But guys, let's start with the main event here. O'Malley versus Merab, guys. So what's changed? This is a rematch, all right? And we need to know what has changed. And honestly, the only thing that has changed that I see is the location, other than O'Malley's on podcast saying he thought he was going to lose the first fight to begin with because he's seen a dead owl. He's not smoking. He's living a different lifestyle. I mean, it's nothing crazy. He's still at the same team. Both people are with the same teams. It's just nothing has changed for me besides the location, and the location actually benefits Merab in this fight, I believe, because it is in his backyard in New Jersey with Team Aldo. That's what at least Nova's telling me here, all right? But guys, realistically, I don't think anything has changed. Merab has beat Umar Nurmagomedov. I mean, that's something I don't think O'Malley can do. And Merab outstruck O'Malley by 165 significant strikes last fight. It was arguably a 50-45. I'm going with Merab in this one, man. I just don't see how. Now, there is a path for O'Malley to win this fight. Obviously, to win this fight for O'Malley, he's going to have to land a knockout blow. I don't think he's going to go all 5 rounds with Merab and get a decision. He might, just because it's the UFC and they love him, but realistically here, I really do think Merab's just a better fighter. Give me Merab. That's my pick in this one. Co-main event, Juliana Pena taking on Kayla Harrison, guys. The main thing for me in this one is Kayla Harrison can be beat. We've seen her get beat in the PFL, I believe it was, but people talk like she's this tank, and she is. She's great, gold medalist, but she can be beat. We've seen her be beat before, and Juliana Pena is someone in the UFC that in recent years, her most notable losses, she has 3 of them, 2 of them, Amanda Nunes, Shevchenko. Those are the 2 greatest women's MMA fighters of all time. So Juliana Pena, she's game. She took a lot of time off, beat Raquel Pennington for the belt. But I mean, the thing that sticks out to me for this fight is Pena only has a 23% takedown defense. That's terrible. I just think Kayla Harrison's going to ragdoll her. I truly do. But it's women's MMA, man. Julia Pena at plus 500 and something. Might have to sprinkle it, man. No one thought Holly Holmes would beat Ronda Rousey. All right, it's MMA. It's a game of punch face, and especially women's MMA. A lot of upsets, a lot. So guys, for betting wise, I would sprinkle Juliana Pena at plus 500 or whatever the heck it's at. It's floating around that. But if you're just picking straight up, no betting involved, I mean, how do you go against Kayla Harrison? I mean, she has a clear path to victory. She's good at what Juliana Pena is not good at. It's not good at defending either way. And honestly, the striking stats, now I know fight-wise it's a lot to compare, but on the feet, man, Kayla Harrison stat-wise has better stats than in the striking department than Juliana Pena. Now, realistically, Juliana Pena is the better stand-up fighter. Her path to victory is to turn it into a brawl, get a knockout blow. That weight cut, I think it drains a lot from Kayla Harrison. I think it draws a lot of liquid, man, from the brain. Better knockouts. But yeah, I do think Juliana Pena is a live dog in this one, but I'm going to be sprinkling some money on her, man. I really am at plus 500, but straight up, if you're just saying who's going to win, how do you go against Kayla Harrison? Joe Pyfer taking on Kevin Gastelum, guys. If you've been following me on social media, you know I'm a huge Joe Pyfer guy. I'm going to be rooting for him. That's my pick to win this fight, and here's why. So, if you're familiar with UFC, you know Sean Brady, Joe Pyfer, same team, Marquez MMA or whatever they did. They always train together, same coaches, all that. They already trained for him, all right? And I said this, now you're going to say that's crazy, but if you look back in history, guys on the same team that typically fight the same fighter, right? Strickland, there was a situation, Strickland and Chris Curtis, they fought the same opponent. I think it was Brendan Allen. I thought Chris Curtis won that fight. He got robbed, in my opinion, but there's another situation. There's multiple. You've seen it with Sterling and Merab. Seen how Merab did Petr Yan. It was their third time training for him. This is their second time training for Kevin Gastelum. Kevin Gastelum did not have any success at all versus Sean Brady. Now, I know Sean Brady, Joe Pyfer on paper are two really different styles in fighting, but we've seen Joe Pyfer use grappling in his fights before. I think he has an easy path to victory. I think he's going to mix in a lot of takedowns this fight. Kevin Gastelum, man, he's a warrior. He's seen everything. He's fought the who's who in MMA at 185. I don't understand, and honestly, once you start switching up weight classes like that, up and down, unless you're a double champ or stride on being a double champion, which I don't think Kevin Gastelum's aiming for at this point in his career, I just think he's looking for a check. I can see Joe Pyfer winning a UFC title. I really can. And I just don't see Kevin Gastelum doing it. That's another reason as to why I am picking Joe Pyfer to win this fight. How will he do it? I think it's going to be grimy, man. I really do. We've seen him in that Hermanson fight. I believe it was a 5-round main event. He didn't look good, but this is only 3 rounds, all right? I truly think he's going to mix in the wrestling, especially because Kevin Gastelum had no answer for Sean Brady. Sean Brady will probably be in Pyfer's corner. Give me Joe Pyfer to win this fight. Next fight, Mario Bautista taking on Patchy Mix, guys. Mix is coming over from Bellator. I'm extremely excited for this fight. He is, at least from what we've seen in Bellator, now it's different levels. We all seen that. But at least from what we've seen from Bellator, this guy is one of the best grapplers in the world, especially at that weight class. He has his most notable win is Magomedov. And that guy has a win over Petr Yan early in his career. It wasn't obviously in the UFC or Bellator or some early promotion that people go to, but either way, guys, I mean, that Paxi Mitch is legit, and he's the favorite in this fight. How many times do we see guys come over from Bellator and be a favorite over an established UFC fighter? Not a lot. Dan Hooker, I believe, was the favorite over Chandler. We just most recently MVP. He was a dog to I believe to Kevin Holland in his first UFC fight. But I truly think Paxi Mitch is going to surprise a lot of people in this fight. Now, Mario Bautista, he gets a lot of hate just because the way he fights. But I don't think he's going to be able to grapple with Paxi Mitch. What we're going to see here, it's going to be a crazy fight. And a lot of exchange grappling. So if you're not a fan of grappling, this fight isn't for you. But it's going to be an entertaining chains of grappling, in my opinion. But I honestly think Mario Bautista is going to want to keep this on the feet for his own sake here. But it's kind of hard. It's hard to measure outside of UFC talent. I do think Paxi Mitch is going to win this fight. But, I mean, honestly, Bautista just doesn't have the most impressive resume to me. I truly think that his resume just isn't that good. His best win is an out-of-retirement Jose Aldo. And I think he was just really fighting for money. But, yeah, I'm going Paxi Mitch in this fight. My guy, Kevin Holland's taking on Vicente Luque. Now, I am a huge fan of Kevin Holland at the 170 weight class. I think it's just stylistically better. There's a lot more wrestlers in the 170 weight class, but I just think he defends it so much better. He's not, he doesn't have a huge disadvantage in weight. I mean, some of them 185ers could fight at heavyweight if they didn't cut weight. He's not at a disadvantage there because Kevin Holland was not cutting pretty much any weight at all at 185. But 170 has to cut weight, so he's not a fan. But I'm a fan of him at 170. I think he defends every fight that I've seen so far. He defended takedowns a lot better. Hasn't seen too much success at 170, but he did go to split decision with JDM, who's the current champion. And some may even argue that he won that fight. But guys, another reason why I'm going with Kevin Holland in this fight, Vicente Luque has not been the same since that brain injury. He was bleeding from his brain after that Jeff Neal fight, and after that, when he versus guys that can crack like Buckley, that Buckley fight in AC, Buckley hit him a few good times and he was just done. He was laying on the ground. The ref called it. He kind of it looked like he gave up. I don't want to say he gave up just because I have respect, but looking at it, it just didn't seem like vintage Luque, and I just don't think we're going to see that. Kevin Holland can crack guys. He hits hard at 185, so he's bringing that power down to 170. I think he's going to hit Vicente Luque a few good times, and it's going to be done. And Vicente Luque, he's a striker, man. He's not the best grappler there is. I mean, he just had a great grappling showing, but that was against a newcomer in the UFC on short notice. But yeah, he's not. I know he's Brazilian and the Brazilian jiu-jitsu and stuff, but he's more of a striker, guys. He's not really a grappler. I see Kevin Holland keeping this fight on the feet, and I see him possibly getting a KO win. Moving on to the featured prelim, Joshua Van taking on Bruno Silva, guys. Now, it's two different styles, man. If you've been watching, Van likes to stand and bang. Silva's a grappler, and he has slick jiu-jitsu. All right, he has a few nice submission wins in his career. But, guys, Van has an 80% takedown defense, and Silva, he only has a 25% accuracy in takedowns. So stats are saying this fight's going to stay on the feet. Van, he already has his loss, but he's 13 years younger than Silva, man. I think this is a great test for him to test his grappling defense. It has been tested already, but Silva's L's are pretty notable, though, all right? He's not just losing to anybody, Silva. He lost to Manel Kopp, Yukubov, and Deverak, all right? All three, Deverak kind of fell off a little bit, but there was a moment where Deverak was right outside the top 10, or right in the top 10. Manel Kopp, he's a title contender, and Yubokov, he's also a title contender as well. It's notable guys, his losses are too, man. It's not like this guy's just taking L's to anybody. This is going to be a competitive fight, but I think Josh Van's going to get it done on the feet. That's my prediction to win this fight. Next up, Mirzakhanov taking on Ribeiro, guys. First off, any fighter that's last name ends in an OV, it's just a blind take. He's minus like 600 for a reason, but he's a killer, man. He's way better on the feet. There's a path for Ribeiro to win in the submission game, but a guy that ends in OV is not going to be easy to take down. He's a striking Russian. He's not a grappler, but he has an 83% takedown defense. So he knows what he's doing on the defensive end. But Ribeiro, he's a kill or be killed type of guy. His record 17-7, counting KOs and submissions, 16-5. So just 3 fights went the distance for him. So my pick in this one is Mirzakhanov by KO. Probably going to get it early just because Ribeiro, he's like I said, he's killed or be killed. Let me go first round, Mirzakhanov KO. Sergey Spivak taking on Waldo Cortez Acosta, guys. All right. The one that sticks out to me the most in this one, Spivak is 3 years younger than Acosta, and Spivak has 8 more professional fights. All right, this fight is a pick'em. It's really weird to me. Spivak's probably going to be the hammer spot in this fight for me. He's fought a lot of well-known people, a lot of top guys, and Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's on the come up. All right, he's working his way up in the division. A win over Spivak would be huge for him, but I just don't see him getting it done, man. Huge step up in competition for Acosta in this one. I don't think he's ever fought in the top 10. I don't really know where Spivak ranks, but he's a wrestler. Any wrestler at heavyweight is automatically, in my opinion, a top 10 heavyweight. There's literally no grappling at heavyweight. Spivak does that. Spivak, he had his last 3 losses: Almeida, Cyril Gane, and Tom Aspinall. All right, you're looking at 2 world champions and a title contender. All right, Spivak really only loses to the best of the best. He lost early in his career when he was very early 20s, like 21, 22, to Tybura, and he got that win back recently. But yeah, I just don't see Sergey Spivak losing this fight. This is if you're going to put something on it and you want my advice. Now, I'm not a professional, all right? Do not listen to me. I'm not a professional, so be responsible, all right? But if you want my opinion, this is the spot where you go crazy. Sergey Spivak is not losing this fight, in my opinion. He has, Waldo Cortez Acosta, he has better stats than Spivak, but it's the competition level is insane. All right, Spivak's been in the UFC since 2019. And he's only 30 years old. So he's been in the UFC for an extremely long time, versing UFC level guys. Waldo Cortez Acosta, just not at that level yet, and he might be. He could pull a rabbit out the hat, and Vegas thinks it's going to be a close fight, but I think that's coming off a recency bias because Spivak hasn't had much luck. But like I said, Aspinall, Cyril Gane, and Almeida, all right, top level guys. I just don't see Spivak losing this fight. He can easily dominate him with the grappling. I truly think that. But even in the Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's fast on his feet for a heavyweight, but I just think that the wrestling's going to be too much for him. Give me Sergey Spivak. It wouldn't surprise me if he got a submission win in this one, honestly, but we're most likely looking at a nasty ground and pound. My guy Chaos Williams stayed on the card. All right, his original opponent pulled out. Gustafsson was supposed to fight last week. Both his opponent, well, he had an opponent and another opponent. They both pulled out. Luckily for both of them, I'm happy that they both get to display their skills and make a money displaying their skills. All right, no cancellations. They get to fight each other. But despite this is Gustafsson's UFC debut. Actually, he's on the Contender Series, but in terms of an actual card, this is his first one. He looked amazing on the Contender Series, man. He looked really good. I was highly impressed with him. But guys, Chaos Williams is different. I don't think Gustafsson's ever versed anyone. This is a brutal first fight for the UFC, man. Chaos Williams puts people to sleep, guys. We've seen it over and over again. He looked great versus Randy Brown. He took Randy Brown to a split decision. We see how good Randy Brown is. This is just a brutal first fight for Andreas Gustafsson. I'm going Chaos Williams in this one, but Gustafsson is a gritty guy, man. He's never been finished in his career now, like I said. Who was he really fighting? We're going to find that out on Saturday, but obviously the level of competition he was fighting was not the level Chaos Williams is. And Chaos Williams is younger in this one. He's also 3 years younger. 3 years younger, but this is his debut. Chaos Williams has been in the UFC for a little bit now. But both fighters been in camp, so it is a short notice fight. It's a week. I think both these fighters knew who they were versing a week in advance. But guys, Gustafsson was training for Jeremiah Wells. Jeremiah Wells is a grappler. All right, Chaos Williams is not a grappler. He's coming to take heads off the shoulders. All right, but yeah, just in terms of level of competition. From what we've seen of both these guys, give me Chaos Williams. Gustafsson can prove me wrong, I really do. I don't think Chaos Williams is going to get a KO in this one, though. Like I said before, Gustafsson, he's really gritty, man. He's never been finished. Give me a Chaos Williams decision win. But I do see a path for Gustafsson. I truly was impressed with the Dana White Contender Series, but I can't pick anyone to win a fight that's versing a guy that I know it should be in the UFC in Chaos Williams. Some more women's MMA early prelims. De Silva taking on Kong, guys. In this fight, man, Kong's she's minus damn near 600. I think De Silva's worth a chance at plus 400, guys. I really do. I think it's worth a sprinkle. She has slick submission game. She has slick submissions. She could easily, I can see her finding a heel hook or something better than that. And I like her camp, man. King's MMA. You get better, but just camps, man. I truly think gyms matter, and I think a lot of guys don't look at where guys are fighting or females are fighting. But King's MMA, a great gym. So she's training with the best of the best. Her UFC competition so far has been better than Kong's, but I think from what I've seen from Kong, man, she looks. I mean, minus 600 speaks for itself, but. She looks faster. She looks stronger. She has way more output, and her defense, at least on the feet, looks better. Now the grappling is what scares me, and that's why I think plus 400 on De Silva is worth a sprinkle. But in terms of an outright winner, I think Kong has a chance to get a KO win in this one. The Joker, I like that little the Joker stuff she does and the face-offs the day before. But yeah, I think Kong's going to win this fight, but it wouldn't surprise me. If you're going to sprinkle De Silva, make sure you sprinkle a submission in there. But for straight up purposes, I'm going Kong. I think she's faster, stronger. She shows more output in her fights, and the defense, at least on the feet, looks better. Saragi taking on Jo Sung Yo. I'm not familiar with Yo too much, all right, guys? It's his UFC debut. He was in the Korean Zombie promotion. It was like Fight Night Zombie Fight Night, something like that. But I don't like guys in their UFC debut being minus 550, especially versing a guy that has been fighting UFC. Has he had much success in the UFC? No, but he still has been fighting UFC level. But I took a look at some videos, man. Yo's striking looks phenomenal. He looks very quick. He looks very, very technical. He has good output. But, Sergey, he lands them takedowns, man. He's averaging over 2 takedowns per fight. I don't think Yo's been tested in the grappling, especially over in Korea, or wherever the promotion takes place. That they just don't have good wrestling over there. Minus 550 that he is. I think Sergey is worth a shot at plus 375. I think his path to victory is there. I think if he can wrestle Yo, it's going to be a long night for him. But if Yo can keep this on the feet, it's going to be a long night for Sergey. I think he looks way better on the feet. But like I said, I don't really know too much. But in a straight up prediction from what I've seen from both fighters, give me Yo. But like I said, it's hard to measure. Going back to the Paxi Mitch fight, it's hard to measure outside UFC competition to guys that have been fighting in the UFC. But I'm gonna go Yo in this one. Next up, an Australian GOAT being born in the making. Sakald versus Ashmaz, I believe that's how you pronounce those names. Probably butchered both of them, but let's get into it anyway. Salkild, he's huge, man. He has a 6-inch reach advantage. He's 3 inches taller. But Ashmaz, man, he has way better competition, and he's 2-1. His only loss is Chris Duncan, and Chris Duncan is a savage. But I do think Salkild has more ways to win. He's great on the ground with the jiu-jitsu. He can find your chin. That's for damn sure as well. But I think the odds don't make sense to me in this one. This is a fight, both guys, not a short notice fight. Both guys have been training for each other, and Ashmaz is floating around plus 350. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. For Salkild, I think this should be a little bit closer. I think those odds are a little bit disrespectful, especially Ashmaz. He looked a little one-dimensional in his first few fights, but he mixed it up very well versus Peak. He had 9 takedowns against Peak, so I do think he has a little bit of grappling to him, even though we haven't seen it in his other fights other than the Trevor Peak fight. But when I look at fights, one of the things I look at is who has more ways to win, and Salkild in this fight has more ways to win. I do think Ashmaz is game. I think he's tough. He's gritty. He's going to be hard to finish. Give me Salkild by decision. All right, the last fight of the card. If you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you. You're a degenerate or you love MMA. Either one, we appreciate you here. All right, but guys, this is a 7-day notice fight. Medeiros, he was supposed to fight last card. Fight got canceled. Now he's taking on Choinski on a 7-day short notice, pretty much. This is Choinski's UFC debut. But 5 out of his 8 wins are from submission. He's a great grappler. Medeiros, he has good takedown defense, but the issue with him is if you do get him down, he stinks at getting back up. And I think if Choinski can get him down, he can find a submission because you can't stay on the ground, at least from what I've seen. Now, I haven't seen too much. It's his UFC debut. But from what I've seen from Choinski, great submission guy, all right? And if he can get Medeiros down and hold him down, I truly believe he can find a submission. I don't think I've been going with a lot of dogs here. Maybe the last 2 I actually have. But either way, give me Choinski in this one, man. I think grappling matters a lot. But I can see him, like I said, this fight is short notice, so I get why the odds are like why he's the dog. He could come in for a sloppy takedown, and Medeiros can give him a knee right up the middle. He's a great striker, Medeiros, but if you get him down, man, he just doesn't get up, and I don't like that, especially in this type of fight. Choinski, it's a battle of styles in this one, and I think Choinski has the style to find a submission. That's what I'm going for. I'm going to go second round sub by Choinski. All right, guys, that does it for my predictions. If you disagree with anything, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you're taking. Join the Discord, completely free to join. What I'm personally going to take, I'll post after weigh-ins. I like to see if guys can beat the scale before they even get a chance to beat their opponent. Guys, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be doing this every single card. Appreciate it. Much love. Thank you.